Hey, good morning. Good morning. I am just going to chill here for a bit and wait for Jo and Marianna to join me. So today we're going to be talking about what are we talking about? We're talking about why people believe cuddle therapy should be free. No. Just no. No on so many levels, no. Let's see if, there we go. As well, I invite maybe Mariana.
Hey.
Hi.
Yes. It's
Good
working.
morning. No, it's not morning for you, is it?
Good morning for you, evening for me. I'm Jo. I'm in Australia, just so that people watching understand what you're saying.
You know what? I know we always have this problem. I can't see you, and I think this always happens
You
whenever
were.
I do an Instagram live with you.
But that's okay because I can see
Can
you, so we can
you?
just
Okay.
we
All
can
right.
do this.
That works. Now, I am trying to invite Mariana, but it won't let me. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Okay. Hey, Mariana.
And you let me know if you see her. So I'm trying to invite
Oh, here she
Mariana,
is.
but it won't
I
let
can
me.
see
No,
her.
I can
Hi,
see Mariana.
Mariana. Hi, Mariana.
Hello.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Yes, thank you. My laptop didn't work, so I'm on my phone, but I'm here.
You know what? I wonder if it would be better. Well, awesome. Thank you both so much for being here. Um,
Thank
yeah.
you for hosting.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, so Mariana, you're going to be my eyes because I can't see Joe.
Okay, I can
I
see
just see you.
both, so it's fine.
So,
I'm the lucky one.
yeah, this happens every time. Every time I do a live with Joe, I just look at myself talking and have to guess her facial expressions, what she wants to say. So maybe you can help me out if her hand goes up or if she's like, but wait, and
Yeah,
you can let me know.
I'll go
All
sort
right,
it back.
so um, we all know who I am, but I'll go ahead and introduce myself for some of the other people who are joining us who maybe don't know. My name is Jasmine Simon. I'm a bidirectional therapeutic touch practitioner with Tanje Wellness, and I'm located in Washington, D.C. I have an office there, and then 170 miles south in Southern Virginia called Williamsburg, Virginia. And my focus is really around touch, bidirectional. This is a term that I've coined, and that just means the touch goes both directions. Um, and my focus is primarily with people who have anxiety, trauma, whether it's CPTSD, PTSD, PTSI. And that's kind of my little niche area. Would one of you like to go next to introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'm gonna go then next. My name is Mariana Holoshi, and I'm a touch therapist based in London as well. And I help different types of people that we're going to talk about to either heal their touch-based traumas or anxiety, or just enjoy the company of another person. I'm not only bi-directional because some of my clients come to me and kind of have my sessions as a treatment, meaning they just lie out as an angel and they don't really touch me as much, whichever way or whatever they need at the moment. And yes, I'm based in London. I've got two places. I have some clients in Leighton and some in Angel Islington as well. And yes, I'm happy to be here with you ladies. I love you lots, both of you.
Oh,
Thank
Jo?
thanks
you.
for coming on, Mariana. My name's Jo, and I'm based in Perth, Western Australia. And I've been a cuddle therapist for about 5 years, and I see everybody. I don't really have a focus, just anybody that I feel aligned with. So for me, it's really about the feeling. If I feel that there's going to be some benefit there, then great, they are an aligned client for me. So yes. But this topic was actually inspired by a recent radio interview that I did a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, where when the DJ introduced me, he just said his opinion, which was, I think cuddle should be free. And afterwards, I was really reflecting on that, and I thought, this is really powerful because, of course, the average person doesn't know why we charge money because they don't know what people are, they don't know really what is offered in a session. So how would they know? So I felt like a deeper level of compassion and understanding for the average person in the street. And I thought it'd be a great idea to write a blog. So I started to write a blog, but then I thought I want to know what my colleagues' thoughts on this, because they could share something with me that I'm not aware of what they think they're being paid for. So this is really exciting because I just want to open this discussion, and also as cuddle therapists, our part of our role is to educate the public in what are they paying for. So I'd love to open this discussion. I mean, I know what I'm being paid for, but I'm curious as to what else could come from this conversation of like some insights and aha moments. So I'd love to hear from one of you lovely ladies of your thoughts and experiences and reflections of what you're being paid for.
Thank you. Yeah. Um, whenever I'm asked that question, or not, I haven't actually been told that. Whenever somebody says, "Oh, this should be free," in the past, I've heard that quite often, and I usually go directly to, "Do you work for free? Why aren't you providing your services to your boss and the corporate company that you work for free?" Because there's value in what you're doing, and of course, they'll say yes. They should be paid for their work, for the value that they're bringing. And then that's when we go into it. Well, you're here for a reason because you deem this service valuable, right? Sure. Well, then don't you think that we should be paid for what we're doing, for the service that we're bringing? And then that can go into so many different things. And what I've noticed, particularly with clients or potential clients, because it's often been mentioned in a consultation, then from there, it'll usually lead to, well, I've just been so lonely and I can't afford to do this all the time and I really need the touch. Okay. So then you're getting down to what it is, what the issue is. And that is that, that they can't afford it and that there are not any social services, at least not here in the United States, that will provide any kind of subsidy for this type of service. Now, that shouldn't fall on my shoulders. It shouldn't fall, and this is also what psychotherapists deal with, talk therapists, that, people will say, you should do this work for free. So it's not just cuddle therapy, but this is something that's seen throughout the healthcare, mental health and physical healthcare field here. I'm not sure if that resonates where the both of you are. If it's the same
Mm,
there, that people should just be doing like doctors, they should just be taking care of us for free.
mm. Yeah, I love that because I hadn't actually thought of that. So yeah, that I hadn't thought of that. The main thing that I think about is that they're paying for my ability to hold boundaries. And then the second thing is they're paying for to receive touch and to receive my attention and to receive that it's all about them. And so that's why it's different from cuddling a friend, because when you're cuddling a friend, it's a bit of give and take. But in a cuddle session, it's all about the client. I'm in service and they're receiving. But it's more about the boundaries, and it's more about keeping the session platonic. Because again, you could go to a friend and say, "Can we cuddle?" But can you really trust your friend that they're going to keep it platonic? So that's what they're paying cuddle therapists for, is that they can trust us or trust me. I can only speak for myself. They can trust me to keep it platonic, and I'm a safe person that they can fill that with. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. I've got some other ideas, but I'd love to hear from Marianna.
Yes, thank you. So in my case, I hear that a lot as well, but I know, Jasmine, like in America, this has been going on for a while, and you, Jo, you've been doing this for a while as well. I've started this a bit less than 2 years now, and I'm one of the first one who does it one-to-one. And, you know, the UK population is not as warm as other people are. So I do get this a lot, like, cuddle should be free. And what I'm thinking is, cuddle should be free, could be free, but then why don't you cuddle your mum? Why don't you go and cuddle your sister or your friend or your colleague? They could give you a cuddle for free. So what I'm giving them is not really the cuddle. What I'm selling and trying to give them, or not really give them because it's all inside them, what I'm helping them to evoke the feelings that are already in them. They were either suppressed or they are hiding because they traumatized and they don't dare to go there. So what I'm giving them is the feeling and the ability to hold them and keep them safe so they can go into themselves and they can get touched and connect back to themselves. And that brings up a lot of emotions. So I do have different people. I have people who were sexually abused. Their number one feeling they need to feel is feeling safe and feeling secure in their body and with another person touching them, or sometimes even just looking at them. Sometimes even they looking at me is scary as well. And so that's one of the feelings that they are paying for, like feeling secure. Because the way I think, like until we don't know what something feels like, feeling safe in the body, feeling safe with someone, feeling loved, feeling accepted, we can't go and search for it outside. But once you get to feel that to yourself, like on a cellular level inside of you, then you can find things that give you the same feeling and build yourself in your own world. And so for me, it is the feelings of being seen, the feelings of being heard. Like, it's not about, for me, it's not about the cuddles. It's like being there for someone, having that human connection. If, you know, there are lots of people who are never listened to.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
if someone tells me, but Marianna, don't say a word. I just want to tell you something that's been on my shoulder for 18 years. I just want somebody to listen to me unconditionally, non-judgmental way. Then I'll just zip it and I listen. And that's all they need. And it's not the cuddles. We might do it in a holding position, but we might just be sitting next to each other. And there's lots of feelings like that, but being accepted. Like, we are so tough on ourselves due to our past experiences that we are our biggest prison that we're building for ourselves. And helping someone to acknowledge the journey they did and celebrate with them and just turn on the lights that, okay, you're doing a brilliant job. You might not see it because you're still in the dark and some of your thoughts are still from the past. And then, okay, they can change their way of thinking. They can change their way of looking at things. And these things can't be done ourselves. Like, I'm a coach as well, so I think this might be coming from my coaching background. But it's just beautiful. Like, we are blind to ourselves in most of the cases. That's why we need to learn and go to coaches and work with mentors and learn as well. We're always growing. And I think cuddle therapy is one of the ways people can grow. And also what I feel is, like, talking is not enough. Lots of people that come to me, they've been doing the talking for a really long time and they still are scared to be touched. So we need to go into the body. I'm not saying cuddle therapy is the only way, but that's one of the nicest way, one of the safest way. And anything can happen in there. And I could just talk for a really long time, but I want to hold you to talk.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think with a lot of people who have trauma, checking in with their body, the somatic side of therapy, it's definitely very, very helpful. And that's a piece of the work that we do, is that somatic aspect of seeing how your body has is dealing with the trauma that you endured, that you experienced. Most definitely.
Mm. And I think that's a block when people like are questioning, why would you pay for that? Because to them it's a mental concept and a mental construct. And until a person has actually felt it in their body, that they feel safe, they feel accepted, they feel, the other person's presence, they feel relaxed, the oxytocin as well. Until a person's actually felt that in the body, this cuddle therapy is only going to be a mental construct to them. So sometimes it is difficult to explain to people what it is because it's just mental. So yeah, I think that's something as well, that sometimes it's difficult. I can only do my best to explain what it is with words, but until someone's felt it, it's incredible.
I could not agree with that more. I often, when I network, because I network with a lot of therapists, I'll say, hey, why don't you come in for a 30 or 40-minute session? I can sit here and explain to you what's happening with the oxytocin and how it's lowering this chemical and, how this is the touch is the cheat code to get you to relax and trust and blah, 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 blah. I was like, but unless you're actually in session and you experience it and you experience that odd feeling of you're a complete stranger, but I am oddly comfortable with you and I feel safe and I feel not guarded, but like protected. And now I can talk about these things or I can cry, talk about these things that I've never talked about or just finally shed tears after 20 years of holding it in. And, we can explain this to people, but until they actually experience it, I think it's hard to make that connection of what's going on in session.
Yeah, totally agree.
Uh, Dylan Jocelyn has a comment here, if that's okay if I can read that.
Please.
As a trauma survivor, integrating touch into my therapy has proven to be extremely helpful to my healing. Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us have heard, right? Have the both of you heard that from your clients?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's just wonderful. There's just no words to it's just so it's just so heartwarming to hear that and to feel that. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan.
Thank you. I also do sometimes exercises with my clients. Dr. Betty Martin's framework, The Art of Receiving, has really good exercises to practice our boundaries and consent, because most people have got issues with saying no and, the people pleasing and everything. And then it's really important to feel into the body and see what feels right, where it feels right to say yes, and where do I have to go into no or into a maybe, and think about it, or let it see how that feels, and then take it from there. And if they can do this in a safe place with me, they will be able to practice it in the real world as well, where it's more important. But it's hard to learn there when it's all there in front of your face and it seems or feels big. Yeah, and that's, again, you can't really do that at home all by yourself, and that's nothing to do with cuddles again, but I do that, so that's another thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
What kind of
before I got
exercises?
into this,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jo.
I was just going to say, before I got into this, before I did any courses, I didn't even think that the word boundaries, the word boundaries was not even in my vocabulary. I didn't
Same.
even think about that.
Yeah, not in mine.
And so the Cuddlist course was just really about boundaries and consent. And I was like, wow, everybody should do this course because it's it's just bringing so much more awareness to boundaries. So yeah, and they had a little caption of what we're being paid for, and it was along the lines of, they're paying you for your ability to set and hold boundaries and then to navigate the space within those boundaries during the session. Because, you've got an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long the session is, to navigate that session and uphold those boundaries. And it's like that's huge. But unless you've actually done it, that's like, oh, that's easy. Well, it's actually not sometimes. So yeah. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Jasmine?
I was going to ask Marianna about the different exercises that you do. If you could give us an example of one.
Yeah, it's, for example, the 3 minutes game is when we
Ah,
ask each other questions like, can I touch you here? Can I do this to you? Whatever the case is. And then they have to say yes, regardless why I do. And then we can talk about the feelings it evokes in them. And, or the other way around, that they have to say no to everything I ask, or they do it to me as well. And then how does that make feel? Because for someone who was abused, saying yes to everything or saying no to everything can be, powerful, very powerful. And also talking about what it means if we don't set the boundaries. How can we be hurt in life? What is that called? Is it called raping or whatever it is? There's lots of things that are within receiving and giving, with consent and without consent.
yeah. Right.
And these are lifestyle skills. They are not cuddle skills. These are skills that are really useful in life.
Yeah. I often tell people that. I'm like, what you're learning here, you can take out into the wild and use in your romantic relationships and your friendships, with your boss, with your colleagues, coworkers, the people in line at the grocery store, like with everybody.
With any relationship, really, because it's all about the connection between two human beings, and that's what we do wherever we go. We're just human beings connecting on different levels. Yeah.
I've definitely felt more comfortable since starting this work saying no, or telling people I don't know. Let me think about it. Well, I need to know now. No. I'll let you know when I'm ready. That's what I can give you.
All right. I can change my mind.
Aware.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
can change your mind. Yeah. I feel I'm more aware of the emotions, and I'm aware of how it feels to say no, so I can be present with like a pattern or something in me, like worry or just whatever it is. I'm more aware of that feeling that's coming up, that's my inner child that just wants to be held and loved. So yeah, that's just that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And you had asked at the beginning of this, Jo, what people are paying for, and I kind of want to go back to that, because I don't know how it is in the UK or in Australia, but here in the United States, we don't have any kind of licensing for cuddle practitioners, whether they're professional cuddlers, cuddle therapists. It's very much like a life coach. Like, you don't have to get training to call yourself that. The only caveat in certain states in the United States is that you can't call what you're doing therapy. There has to be a disclaimer, because therapy is licensed, or it's allowed by a board. So people can call themselves a therapist, but they can't call what they're doing therapy. And again, this is only in certain states. The state I'm in Maryland, in Virginia, and DC, maybe not DC because that's not a state, but anyway. And so is there, we have to learn like what we're doing. And there is a lot of on-the-job training. I think there's an aspect of professional expertise that happens that we're also bringing to it. So you were talking about not holding space. What did you say? You said boundaries, right? That you're providing, you're holding boundaries, but it's the same as
boundaries.
Right. It's the same as holding space, but we have to learn how to do that. And that is a part of what we're offering in session. So yeah, you could just go to anybody. I'm going to kind of be a jerk and say you could go to anybody like on Cuddle Comfort, and that's really anybody can log in there and say, I'm a cuddle therapist. You do get a little bit of training with the different certifications. I think Cuddlists is still online. Cuddle Sanctuaries is in person and live, virtually. I also offer one. Sam Varnerin from Snuggle with Sam offers one. And I think that's part of what people are paying for, is that expertise, that education that we're doing. And not just the Cuddle certification, but also all the other certifications that we get. If you've done like a pro certification with Betty Martin, I haven't done it, but, or different types of life coaching. I've done neuro-linguistic programming. All of that, I think, builds into what we're offering and how we're holding space. And I think people sometimes forget that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I very much agree to that,
Yeah.
because I do have clients who've been on Cuddle Comfort, and they tell me what happened in some of those sessions, and they are, not in good hands with some of those people. And it's a shame. I can't do anything bad. We don't have a regulatory body in England either. We've got only one course we can do, which is online. You have to do like 20, there's 22 modules, I think, as far as I can remember, and you have to write 22 assignments. But obviously, if you haven't healed yourself to be able to hold the space, that certification is not going to give you anything. Because if you're going to be anxious with someone and you won't be able to hold the space, if someone's coming to you who's been self-harming, you have to be there 100% and look after them as best as you can. But if you are not there in mental capacity and emotional capacity, you won't be able to do that. I mean, in general, and that's important to know. That I think the certification, who does the certification, they really do this and take this seriously, and they are really there to look after people, not just for fun or whatever the case is. And that's important.
Yeah, but and also we need to know our boundaries of whether we think we're a good fit with that particular client, or whether that's, above our pay grade, or that's above our capacity to be in service to that person. That's really important as well, to know when we're a no.
I'm really clear with. I'm getting like people who hung up on me when I tell them what my boundaries are. But they're just wetting themselves. It's good.
Right. Hey, I appreciate a hang up more than showing up and kind of expecting something else. It's like, you can just hang up on me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I always say the screening process is just as important as the session. Because if I haven't screened that person properly, I could be putting myself, either in danger or in a really awkward, uncomfortable situation I don't want to be in. So, and that's again what training is there for. The Cuddlist training was amazing for how to screen somebody. It's, there's just no way I would have been able to do that. There's just I'm just gobsmacked that people do this without any training. I'm like, how would you know what to do? Like, either they've done something similar, or they just really savvy, or they've got loads of common sense. But it's just like it's really important to, and that's again what people are paying us for. They're paying us for our time that we've spent, and money for, the training courses, and it's really important to get training. It's huge. That's also up to the potential client to ask the professional cuddler or the cuddle therapist, what training have you done? Like, they got to vet the cuddle therapist as well, or why are you doing this? I love it when potential clients ask me, why are you doing this? Why do you cuddle strangers? And they're curious. They're not saying it, they're saying it out of curiosity, or they say, why did you start this? And I think that's really important to put it out there as well to people, that if you want to hire a cuddle therapist, get curious and ask questions about them, because you're vetting them just as much as they're vetting you, so that you can be a good fit for this amazing, unique modality.
Absolutely. I had a consultation yesterday with a potential client, and after going through, the whole thing, boundaries, consent, agreements, what to wear, we got to the end, and I presented, told them, my pricing and I need a deposit. And they were like, I can't do that. And I'm like, well, I offer a sliding scale as well, and this is what it is. And they said, I still can't do that. I'm like, listen, you were very nervous even to get to this point, to reach out and make the phone call. You've had anxiety, for the last couple of weeks as it's gotten closer and closer to our consultation. But what you can do is go back out there and find somebody who's within your price range. And I'm very comfortable talking about money and pricing. I said, but what you've done right now is you've taken that first step. You've gotten past the anxiety of having that first contact with a practitioner. I said, and you know what it's supposed to sound like and look like when you do meet with a practitioner. You know that you're supposed to have these boundaries established. Where do you like to be touched? Where do you not like to be touched? There's different models of consent. And ask and wait, the blanket yes. General, what do some people call it? General consent or something like that. I'm so rigid in how I do it. I'm like, and communication. So we've gone through all of these different ideas and concepts which you've never been exposed to. Now you are, and you can take that out to your next practitioner that you meet. So, and that in and of itself is a learning experience and setting him up for success for when he does meet with a practitioner in person.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's really amazing because not everybody's like you. So I just want to say that's amazing.
And
going back to the question, sorry? Yes.
No,
So
go ahead.
anything else, something else, yes, to what people get paid for. So if someone's open to learn how to process emotions, what are the techniques they can use? I'm trying to teach it as many people as possible as well, because the way we were brought up, these things are not taught at school. Like, we have to learn it. And I've read plenty of books. I've done lots of courses. And I just know that there are different ways. I know my ways, but I can offer them plenty they can try and figure out that, okay, if something hits me hard, then I don't just ignore it and then eat some food and suppress it and ignore it. But there are ways we can process them safely, and how to regulate the nervous system as well. These things are very important as well. And that's, again, not about the cuddles. It's about me more like.
That's what they're paying for.
Yeah. And one more, I think that's the last one I did not mention, is the relaxation part. Like, sometimes we can just get into such a meditative state, like in a full bliss, that people can't achieve all by themselves. Like, because my nervous system is calm, they just go and tune into me and they can become so relaxed. Normally it's needed an hour and a half, 2 hours, but then it's just a total bliss out, like no thoughts coming in from the past or from the future. You're fully in the present, feeling what's happening, feeling your body, and just hearing the nothingness, like the stillness. It's such a beautiful feeling that I can do myself, because I've been meditating for a really long time, and there are different ways I can reach it. But lots of people have no idea what it even feels like. And lots of people can't do meditate, because properly meditate takes a while, takes practice. And it can be achieved in a cuddle session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I want to talk about the time and energy that goes into a session as a practitioner. Again, we're going back to why people are paying, but also what we're putting into it. We've already discussed boundaries, that we're upholding boundaries. We've discussed, or at least we've mentioned, holding space. And that also includes not just managing our clients' emotions, but managing our own emotions. Do you have any examples or situations, or even your thoughts on having to manage your clients and your own emotions in session?
I normally have to be rigid with my morning and evening routine, to regulate myself and be in the state. So if there's something happening in my life and I'm seeing a client, I'll make sure that I get into the state where I can hold the space. If it takes cancel something and just have an hour of meditation and tune into myself, then I'm going to do that, because I'm not showing up to a client not 100% ready for them to be there. The sessions are not about me. It's about them and for them, but I have to hold the space. So I'm taking that really seriously. It's really funny. Life is really funny. Like, you know, we have a life and things happen in our lives as well. But every time something serious is hitting me and I need time to process that, I never have clients for those few days. It's really funny. Like, it's organized in perfect order and timing. Like, I don't have to cancel anyone. And on those days, I can just focus on myself, do my processing and healing. And when I'm ready, then I get the next phone call. Can I just book you in? It's really interesting how it is supported. It's really important, because I've heard stories about people that we need to be ready. We just, whatever it takes, we have to be there. Because I do have serious clients as well. Like, I had one client that was really, his body was storing so much that he was kind of in a seizure. Like, I was like, okay, these are positions that I'm not sure. And I was like, okay, but he's safe. I'm holding him. I'm safe. I know what I'm doing. Things similar happened to me as well. I know it's just a release. It's a really tough one. And then I just kept, that's why I don't give discounts, because the longer the session is, the harder it is for me to hold space. And then I just had the space.
Say that again, Marianna.
Yeah.
Say it again.
So
the longer the session is,
the harder it is to hold a space, because in the first half an hour I can be okay, but if someone's really letting go or crying in my arms for 2 hours, I have to be just as present after 2 hours as I was at the first minute. It's hard work. It's really hard. And only someone who is regulated, her or his nervous system, and looks after themselves can do it. It's not just okay, I'll go and I'll hold you, give me a cuddle. It's hard work, emotionally hard work.
It is
and I
taxing.
can't start crying with them. Yeah.
Right?
It's.
Now, did you say you cannot cry with them, or you sometimes do cry with them?
I do. So sometimes I have tears, but I can't just break out. Just they are like, yeah. Sometimes, because if I hear stories that are really tough, it touches me. I'm not gonna not cry, but I did not mean in the way that, okay, I break down and I just can't help them anymore. But yeah, there's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not hard as a rock, right? We're not stone.
Yeah,
we're made of stone.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Jo?
To tell you the truth, I haven't had many clients that have had strong emotions. So my cuddle sessions seem to be pretty fluid and easy and kind of, what's the word, relaxing. I think I've only had one this year that was really emotionally tough for me, and that's it. And then I thought afterwards, I'll be a good fit, and do I want to see this person again? Because I think that this is outside my scope of expertise. And then they have in again. So I kind of feel like the universe is going to give me exactly what I need. The universe is going to give me the clients that I'm most suited to. And those that don't get back to me or cancel, that's great, because they've screened themselves out. I'm not meant to see that person. So if or when clients do have big and strong emotions, the thing that I'm always saying to myself is stay present, stay present, stay present. And if I'm starting to have uncomfortable emotions, then I am present for myself, because I can't be present for somebody else if I'm shoving down my emotions and not taking care of myself. So then I become priority, because then when I'm being present with any uncomfortable emotions in me, they can alchemize a lot quicker, and then I'm back to being present with my client. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but yeah, once or twice it happened.
I think that's also what makes the difference of coming in and talking to a practitioner as opposed to talking to your friend. Your friend is going to be emotionally involved and say, you shouldn't let them talk to you like that. You need to do more. Or I would not take that at any point. Or that's really wrong. Or they might be judgmental to you. And so we provide this space where they can just come in and be like, my feelings were hurt, or this is what I did. They can talk about their experience, and we will be there just to listen. Like Marianna said, just hear what they have to say without any judgment. And that is that emotional labor that I think we put into it. Granted, we don't have any skin in the game for that person's life and their decisions with their family or their significant other or friends, but nonetheless, we're still human. We still have opinions. And unless somebody asks us, well, Jo, what would you do in this situation? For the most part, I think we keep it to ourselves unless we're being asked specifically, what would you do in this situation? What's your opinion?
And that's again another thing that they're paying us for is that listening with acceptance and not giving them advice, not trying to fix them, not trying to coach them unless they specifically ask for that. It's more just a compassionate listening ear, and then that actually is the medicine. That's the healing. I had this great phrase. It was around, healing comes when it's met with compassion and acceptance and love, and that's again something else being paid for, in my opinion.
Healing comes with acceptance and love.
I
like that.
Like it is met with. So yeah,
met with. Okay.
When it's met with, yes. If somebody's telling me something really uncomfortable for them, if they can feel that it's being met with love, it's being met with compassion, it's being met with acceptance, then that's gonna alchemize. That's so beautiful. That's the medicine. I love that.
Oh. Well, I have had some difficult sessions and clients, and so the emotional labor that I bring into it there's a lot there. Not everybody, right? Some people just want to be held and snuggled. Other people don't want to touch at all, and I think their nervous, anxious energy just reverberates throughout the office. Yeah, sometimes the one who talks the less and doesn't touch is that energy is just so heavy. And I'm not much of a woo-woo type person. I haven't studied a lot on energy or learned a lot or done Reiki or anything, but sometimes I can feel it. Sometimes it's just really there, and I'm like, and I have to do this whole like cleansing, breathing, stretching after a session. Yeah, because it can be really, really intense.
And sometimes I do have people as well who are shaking for half an hour. They are so anxious, they are so nervous. And not just with me, in life as well, that they need to figure out how to regulate themselves. And I am one way of doing it, but that's not an easy job to do.
Yeah.
To hold the space, and because I'm there in my positive energy, and an anxious energy comes in. I need to bring that up and not me going down. So it has to be balanced in a way that person is raised up energetically, and that's an effort, like not a physical effort, but it's an energetic effort. Yeah.
A couple of comments here. Leaky Cuddles, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry, said, I do somatic shaking routine. I'll send you guys a video. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. Thank you. Jemmy Goop said, can I ask what triggered each of you to become a cuddle therapist? Would one of you like to go first?
I can go first.
Inspired. Yeah, what inspired you to be
Mine
a
is
cuddle
a funny
therapist,
story.
Marianne?
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
got two things that happened. So first, I was unhappy in a job, and I saw a video on, I think Instagram, or that there was someone fueling up a Porsche or a Ferrari, and then she said she was a touch therapist, and I was like, "Of course you are driving a Ferrari, you are." But it was like a joke, like I did not believe in. And then couple of years later, I quit my job, and this cuddle therapy thing was going on in my head, and I could not get rid of. And in the end, I was waking up with it and going to bed with it, like someone forced it on me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out because the universe is not leaving me alone with this cuddle therapy. I'm going to go and Google what it is. And I Googled it and I started crying. Like, it resonated with me so much. I was like, okay, if I have to do this, then show me a course because I need to have knowledge. And then I Googled, and the first thing came up is the UK course. And then I started it. Like, I was not triggered into it, I was tricked into it. But this is the
Straight
best
into
thing
it.
that
I love
happened to
that.
me. Yeah, that's me.
How about you, Jasmine?
Are you driving your Ferrari yet?
No, I probably have to do something else for that. Not just holding space.
Maybe. Maybe. That's funny. Okay, so I was completely falling apart, emotionally, killing it professionally, and I read about professional cuddling in the Huffington Post, and then had a session. And even though I had been in talk therapy for so long, this was the first time that I was just like, and let all of those emotions go just by someone petting me and saying, Jasmine, it's going to be okay. And it kind of opened this floodgate of emotion, and I started learning more about it and wanted to do it, offer it in some way, not necessarily healing myself, but at least healing other people because I wasn't ready yet. We talked about so much that we've learned in our journey as practitioners. But slowly, I did start healing myself, and, I can't imagine doing anything else. I absolutely love this. Yeah. So that's how I
Beautiful.
started.
Thank you. Great. Jo?
Oh, and no Ferrari yet.
No Ferrari.
Jo?
Well, I was inspired by Faye, who used to work at Cuddle Sanctuary. I saw a little documentary with her in called 60-Second Docs, and it was just amazing the way she was talking about it. She was so just professional and warm and accepting, and I was like, I want to be like her. And there were some other things as well that were going on, but just to keep it short and sweet, I was totally inspired by her, and yeah.
In a decision?
I see that there's another. Yeah, yeah, I'm aware of time as well because I've got to jump off in about 10 minutes. And I just see that there's somebody else that's put a question about seeing clients in the home, in your home. Should I read this one out?
Yes, please.
It says, did any one of you begin with clients in your home if you didn't have another space to work in? And if so, how did you navigate having people you're not familiar with in your home? It's a great question.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a good question. Um, I'll go first, if that's all right.
Yeah,
When I
you go.
first started, I did see people in my home for about a year and a half before I got an office. And I have this problem of thinking that I'm 6'5", 250. So like, but you know what? I had a live-in nanny for part of that time. So she had the guest bedroom in the basement. I would see clients in my family room. And so for the most part, I felt really safe. I also feel like I could protect myself. I never had anybody show up to my house after the sessions. And of course, I also did the consultations as well.
Mm.
So the vetting process. process. But for the most part, I felt really comfortable. And the only reason that I got an office is, one, I hated having to clean my house because I had a dog and 6 kids. And two, I kind of felt like after a while, this is my sanctuary. My house is my castle. And not having, the biggest thing was not having to clean up. And some of the kids were going to be here at the house all summer long, so I wasn't going to be able to see clients here. It just, there's no way you can have kids running around and it be calming and relaxing. So I ended up getting an office instead. Yeah.
Okay, me, I did have clients in my home and I still have a few. And the reason for that is at the beginning, I didn't find an office. Actually, one of my clients found it for me, the one I am still using. It's really funny. It has a really big sofa, but it's limited. So if someone's taller than 5'9", maybe 6, it's not doable. And I'm still in search for a place that has got a bed, at least a single or a bit bigger than a single bed, and not a sofa only, and I can't find any. So at the moment, I am having clients at home as well. And there's lots of things. It always has to be neat and tidy. I always have to wash up the things, and it has to be quiet. I need to make sure no one's around. It is limited, but I'm not giving up finding a place. Maybe if I get there business-wise, maybe I'll just rent a place and I build it myself, and maybe that would work.
Yeah.
But I'm not there at the moment. Yeah. And what I do, is I wed them. So I really have a deep conversation, and that's what I do anyway. I don't book in anybody who I think would want something else or would be a trouble.
Yeah.
I really have a really good system, and I never ever had any issues. Nothing with no one. So I think I'm really doing a good job with that.
Yeah. How about you, Jo?
Yeah, I saw people for a very short period of time, long time ago at my home, but it just didn't really work because my home is so small. And it just, again, it was just a feeling. It was just a feeling, and some other things, and it was like, no, this isn't working. So I just do outcalls. Yeah, I just do outcalls now, and I'm open if there was a space that somebody offered to me that I could use, like an office space, like one day a week or something, at really reasonable price or free, I would be like, yeah, let's try it out. But for me, it's got to be a feeling. It's got to feel right.
Right.
Yeah, that's nice.
Do you have time for another question, Jo?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a question here about social lives from Lex Cuddles. How do you guys balance your social lives? I find it hard to balance plans since I'm not sure how much energy I'll have left after a workday. Spontaneous plans only? Question mark.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Who'd like to go first?
Yeah. I've just got in the flow. I don't have set days or set times. I'm not like you, Jasmine. I don't have like the set days. I just take one day as it. Yeah, I just work one day at a time. I don't tend to make lots and lots of plans. So yeah, for me, I love spontaneity with just a little bit of planning.
Wow, to be so fluid, I would be lost. I would be an absolute disaster if I were that go with the flow and fluid with my day and time. I'm saying that's incredible. It's amazing that you can do that and just be cool. I need
Yeah.
I have a lot of rigid. Let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. I have dedicated, compartmentalized days in everything I do. My entire week is scheduled out. Because of that, I don't make plans too far or too soon. And also, if it's not on my calendar, I don't do it. I only see clients Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. I typically only meet up with friends and go out Saturday evenings. Wednesday nights, when my kids go to their dads, I don't do anything. Wednesday nights are my nights, and my friends and my partner know that. They're like, enjoy your night, because I just want to be left alone. I've been working constantly. I've been momming constantly. So yeah, And I have no problem canceling plans and just saying, hey, I had a tough day. I can't meet you guys. So
That's great.
that's
Yeah,
boundaries.
Yeah,
I love that.
exactly.
What did you say? Being able to change your mind?
So I think if I would have kids and I would have a partner, probably my days would be more scheduled as well. But because I don't, I can do what I want to do whenever I want to do. So, and also I'm building my life from scratch. Like 2 years ago, like everything's new in my life. There's no old people, there's no old nothing. So I am still creating it, and my social life is not as big as it will be. Um, but my clients don't drain me. Like I know that my maximum is 2 or 3 clients a day, and there's no week when I have 3 clients every day or 2 clients every day yet. So I'm absolutely fine with 2 clients and doing whatever I want to do. Obviously, it's scheduled, so I know what I'm doing and when, but it's not a problem for me. And I think this is why it is important to regulate ourselves, because
Yeah.
even if I have a really tough client, I'll just go out for a walk for half an hour in a park, and then I'm back to normal. It does not do anything to my evening or my life. It's not taken away, it's given. But I had to get there emotionally. I really had to do lots of work in me.
Raven has some appreciation saying, thank you all. I'm working on putting a system together to start seeing clients soon. So I appreciate your wisdom. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. And hi, Jazz. I'm a little late, but here to support. Not sure what to say, but just quietly here. Thank you for
That's
being here and
perfect.
supporting us, Jordan.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been very engaging. I like it. How amazing. And it's so cool to be 3. Yeah, this is the first live that we've had 3 of us, so super
And it looks
duper.
like we have space for one more, so we'll have
Yep,
to
I think
do this
there's,
again.
yeah, grab
Definitely.
someone
And
else on.
thank you all. I know, Joe, you said you have to get going. So do you have any last words that you'd like to share, Joe,
Well,
Marianna?
Joe's thinking she's going to say it soon.
I don't know.
I'm just
It's getting
trying.
late here. Gosh. I'm just so grateful to have this community and that we get to. So, like right now, we're socializing and we're also educating and inspiring other people. I mean, how great is this? This is just so lovely. And this idea just came through for me. It was like this divine kind of inspiration to reach out to Jasmine to discuss what we're being paid for. And if I come up with another topic, I'll reach out to you to see if you're interested in talking about it. And if you guys have any other topics you want to talk about, I'm open as well. And I just love this. So thank you so much. And thanks to everybody for your time in watching this as well.
Yes, I would like to say thank you to both of you. You're the 2 favorite cuddle people in the world. Like I spent a lot of time with Joe as well. Like we are friends, never met, but we know each other really well. And Jasmine, I really adore your work as well. Like for me, you are the one who knows everything about it. Like this is really new in England. And I was trying to build relationship with other therapists here, and it's just not happening. And I think this is beautiful. Like 3 continents, 3 ladies doing the same thing, connecting and supporting each other and everyone else in our environment, our clients. This is huge. This is the most beautiful thing. And I know Joe is amazing as well. And it was really like my 2 favorite cuddle people in the world. Being here for an hour is just the best thing. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to thank you both too. Community and having other practitioners, other cuddlers, people doing this work, having this ability to bounce ideas and thoughts off of each other to get advice. It's so, so helpful and so needed for any practitioner getting in this work. Make sure you have people that are doing what you're doing because it is so unique. I can't go to network and talk about our very niche, very difficult situations that we deal with, but with the two of you, and with other cuddlers, I can, and you all get it.
Mm.
And that makes me feel seen. That makes me feel heard and acknowledged. And, you know, hey, that's why people are paying for our time. But I need it too. I need it too from all of you. So I'm incredibly grateful to have this community, to have the both of you.
Yeah, thank you, technology. And thank you that technology worked today. Yay! That was the biggest thing I was apprehensive about. Because last time, yeah, it was a bit frustrating. But yes, I'm grateful for technology. And yeah, you don't need to be in the same city to, you know, bond or connect with another cuddle therapist. Just, yeah, my advice for anybody starting this is to just reach out. Just, yeah, have the courage and confidence to just reach out to other people and see if you click. And if you do, you do. If you don't, that's fine too. I've been friends with a lot of cuddle therapists, and we kind of not anymore, and that's absolutely fine. It's like it's just so good to just go with the feeling.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank you.
All right, ladies. Have a
Have a beautiful
wonderful
day.
afternoon, evening, morning.
Yes,
And
have a
thank
beautiful
you.
day wherever you are in
Yeah,
the
and
world.
thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you.
for all the comments, all the questions. That always makes these lives so much more rich and enjoyable and fun. So,
Yeah, yeah. And I'll reach out to you as well, Leka Cuddles, because can't remember your name, but yeah,
that's
you're wanting
Laura.
support. So
She's, I believe, in the Netherlands. Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
See.
Germany.
get a chat going.
Yeah,
I
those
was
are
going
my
to
two guesses
Get a
as
chat.
well.
Australia. Good.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you
Everyone
so much.
have a
everyone.
wonderful
Bye-bye,
day.
everyone. Thank you
Bye.
for being here. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.